How's it going, guys? White Rabbit here. Today I'd like to talk to you about Madonna's performance on the Ellen Degeneres Show. One of you guys recommended that I check this out, and so I did, and it's horrible. So I figured I'd go ahead and talk a little bit about Madonna here real quick for you all. For those of you who aren't aware, Madonna is pretty high up in the ranks of the Illuminati, as opposed to other musicians and actresses and things. I don't get the sense that Madonna is so much of a puppet as much as she is a high witch or a high priestess or what have you. I think she has a little bit more say than your average celebrity in terms of Illuminati status. I could be wrong on that. She could be another puppet, but you know, just from feeling her out, I think that that's kind of where she sits. Now, recently she came out with a song called Illuminati, where basically she just pokes fun at the Illuminati. So, I mean, how much more blatant do you have to be, really? You know, we saw Jim Carrey come out on that, what was it, The Tonight Show or whatever, where he was coming out claiming the Illuminati, you know, and it's again, it's being dismissive, right? And it is, it's not only drawing attention to the subject and creating a kind of marketing campaign out of it, but it is also demeaning the subject, right? So that people don't take it seriously and don't really investigate it, because that's what it's really about, right? They don't want you to look seriously into it, okay? They want you to think that it's a cool thing, even more so. And so they want to downgrade the fact that it's a real threat to our society, while simultaneously kind of thinking, kind of portraying it as something that's kind of posh, you know, and kind of like an in thing that's also an out thing. Kind of like if you think of like nerds, for example, right? How nerds kind of came in and out, and now they're like, you have like the Google nerds who are kind of cool and edgy, but not at the same time. I mean, that might not be the best analogy, but it's kind of the same, along the same lines. Anyway, so she came out with this song, poking fun at the Illuminati, blah blah blah, you know. And you can see in this picture in particular, I think this was a picture for the album or something, but I don't know, maybe it was from the music video. But you can see how she is tangled up in knots. Now, this is kind of MK Ultra-esque, right? It also has the fractal matrix element to it, the restrained element to it, the split personality type of thing to it. So this image right here gives credence to the possibility that she is a victim of MK Ultra mind control. So, like I said before, I'm not ruling that out as a possibility, but you know, I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to that issue. But anyway, moving forward, we know that she, you know, this bracelet that she wears around her wrist is a Kabbalah bracelet. So she's pretty active into into Kabbalah and I believe yoga and things like that. I mean, they're really all the same new agey mumbo jumbo. And you know, we have other albums. One of her older albums showcased her wearing this leather or sequence jacket or whatever, where we see again, you know, the typical Illuminati pyramid, right? The same thing that's on the back of your dollar bill, where we have 1776 in Roman numerals down at the bottom and 13 layers, 13 levels of bricks in the pyramid, right? And of course the eye at the top is the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. Moving forward, we can see this was from a Super Bowl performance. She's wearing a crown, which appears to give her horns. And she's making the as above, so below symbol, right? And also in this same performance, we see her sitting atop of a throne adorned in hieroglyphics or hieroglyphs. You can see again we have a little bit of a tip of the hat to MK Ultra. In this case, Sex Kitten Programming, which is kind of a segmentation of MK Ultra mind control, or monarch programming if you prefer. We can also see the cheetah print behind her here. Anytime that you see cheetah print or leopard print or something along those lines, it's kind of a tip of the hat to, again, sex kitten programming. So that's something to keep out an eye for. There's, this, again, gives credence to that possibility. We can see in one of her performances, I think this was a performance that she did over in Europe at some point, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is clear blasphemy, all right, to any Christian. I don't think she claims to be a Christian, but this should, be of some alarm, right? What are we seeing here? This is extremely reminiscent of a black mass, right? Where we have the sacrificed virgin. Didn't she have that song, Like a Virgin? Moving on. This was another one of her performances. You can see on the stage how we have the outline of the typical Egyptian symbol for Isis, which was, of course, the old Egyptian goddess, right? Also has associations to the moon and all kinds of things. Moving forward, another performance here. We can see her arm in arm with the crescent star moon. It's kind of a Wiccan symbol. And the quote-unquote Star of David, which, as I've covered in other videos, has associations to Saturn symbolism and all kinds of things. And then in another performance here, we can see as on the stage here, she has her icon that is eerily similar to the Freemasonic compass and square. Right, just something of note. And you can also see the ox, right, the O and X symbolism, taking you, again, the X is the masculine, the O is the feminine, and then you have built into it the square, right, with the adjacent lines here, and the compass, which is the circle, right? Now, at the Grammys, she kind of performed this same thing that she performed on the Ellen Degeneres Show. And I believe it was in a music video that she did for this song as well. And you can see this is an article from MTV News. Now, MTV is notorious for downplaying and poking fun at the Illuminati meme. And yeah, so I just kind of thought it was funny that they claim here that Madonna's Grammy performance was basically an Illuminati matador orgy. Well, yep, pretty much nailed it on the head. So the thing that's interesting, this was at the Grammys performance. You can see the horned beast surrounding her, right? She's dressed in scarlet, right? Possible symbolism with the Whore of Babylon, maybe? But if we see here on the Ellen Degeneres Show, right, as we move forward, she does this whole performance, right? Now, look at how she is dressed. She is dressed like a bullfighter, right? Over in Italy and things, how they have their bullfighters. So, if you look up bullfighting just on Wikipedia, you can do this yourself. You can see that the history, bullfighting traces its roots to historic bull worship and sacrifice in Mesopotamia and the Mediterranean region. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? Huh. Can you say Baal, right? The ancient bull god, as described in the Bible, for example, and in countless other mythological stories. And don't forget, we also have the bull of Wall Street. Where do you think that comes from? But anyway, so clear associations to Baal, which of course has associations to Lucifer, to Satan, right? So this is essentially paying homage to Satan. You can see it all throughout, and as if the horns and the red background wasn't evident enough to you as to what was actually going on here. If you fast forward, let's go ahead and fast forward here just all the way to the end, and let's watch her hand motions here. Oh, what is that? Very subtle, I might add. Right? What do we have? 666, the 666 hand sign that we see all over the place when it comes to this Illuminati stuff. So, yeah, I mean, again, as usual, per usual, we have Madonna at her usual, satanic type performances, constantly embracing and promoting and supporting and indoctrinating your youth with Illuminati, occultic, satanic propaganda. And that's what this is. You got to realize that these songs that they're promoting, they're casting spells on the audience, literally. And these songs that they're putting out there, I know it sounds crazy, but it's releasing dark, energy, if you will, or demonic activity. And you got to realize this is not glorifying to God in any way, shape, or form, and even more so, it is totally worldly. And what you are doing when you promote people like this and you promote these performances and things, not only are you helping to fund the Illuminati, right, but you are placing yourself inside of a prison, inside of this fleshly realm, right? You are imprisoning yourself in this worldly realm. What you really need to do in order to escape from this type of stuff is accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and really get into that Bible and start studying the Word of God, and you will be amazed at how easy it is to see through these things. And anyway, I'll just leave you guys with that. Naturally we see, like I said, Madonna at her typical tricks and games again. So just watch out. If you're not familiar with the Illuminati, do a little bit of research. I think you might be pretty surprised at the credibility to the idea, and you might find out that these conspiracy theorists aren't as crazy as you thought they were. So, anyway, with that, if you let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thanks, and God bless.